Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, I'm Platter videos. Here's videos I do for the while where I go over there and try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that at the time I'm doing this, folks, I may have had to go over there and restart my intro or restart my video because I fucked up my intro. And I fucked it up this time, but we're just going to keep rolling with it this time. Damn it. Forgot to do my snap. And I was like, no, I like my snap. But anyway, yes, indeed. I go over there. I try out stuff. Sometimes I'm in my car. A lot of times in my car at this point. It's just easier to do this stuff in my car. In my house, I have a cat and hamsters and a hedgehog. They're all adorable. I love them all so much. Cat's a little butthole. The cat's a little butthole. But I love him. He's a little butthole. I'm training the butthole out of him, hopefully. But yeah, it's just easier to do it in the car. But I'm wearing grody work clothes. I'm inside the truck. Typically when you have that combination, what that ultimately comes down to is that chances are I was on my way home from work. I found something to review. That's the case today. So folks, what am I going to review for you today? Well, there, all right, well, yeah, grab the wrong bag. First of all, boom, it's from Dunkin, which, by the way, I've gone over there and reviewed a number of things from Dunkin, so much so that I have an entire Dunkin' Donuts playlist for my channel. But what specifically is in the bag, folks? We're doing boom, and I'll even grab the other one for the extra boom. Boom! You got two booms for the price of one. What are these? These are Dunkin' Donuts Stuffed Biscuit Bites. Hooray! So they've had things like this before. They had omelet bites. At one point, I actually did a review of them. If you're interested, go watch that review. So this is their new breakfast thing for this month. Because they typically do, like, they cycle stuff out. And sometimes, you know, it might be 2 months or so, but... So these are their new one, and I figured, what the fuck, man? Let's just give it a go. I can stop off. I got myself a nice matcha iced coffee. And I got myself some stuffed biscuit bites. I think it's like cheese and bacon and stuff. Let's give it a go. There's not a lot of filling in there, man. Like, I mean, there's some. There's not none. But, like, I feel like they could have really gone over there and properly pumped these things up with filling. And they didn't. It's definitely like egg and bacon. Maybe some cheese. You don't get a lot of bacon. I mean, it's in there. You can taste it, but you're not getting a lot of it. Which is a shame because fast food bacon is usually a crapshoot, and I've made mention of this multiple times. But Dunkin' actually tends to have some decent enough bacon for their breakfast stuff. It's okay, but like, it's just so bready. Like, you just don't get enough filling. The filling, when you get it, tastes decent enough. It, like I said, kind of eggy, maybe a little cheesy, with a hint of bacon in there. But most of what I'm getting is just a biscuit. The biscuit itself is fine. It's kind of dry, but it's not bad. These will definitely make you thirsty. It's very, yeah. I mean, they're okay. But, like, I think the problem I have is, like, I could see these being really good, and they're not. They're just okay. For one thing, you needed way more bacon. And if you weren't willing to put more bacon, put sausage in there or something. Because, I mean, folks, come on. Where's the fucking bacon in this one? I genuinely think this one doesn't have any bacon in it. Yeah, this one didn't have bacon in it. I mean, for what it is, even with just the egg, it's not terrible. Like, they season the egg pretty well. It's actually a pretty flavorful egg, especially for a breakfast item at fucking Dunkin. By the way, it's raining. If you hear the rain, it's raining. Yeah, man, I don't know about those. I mean, they're not horrible. I've definitely had worse breakfast items. And I've had worse breakfast items from Dunkin. But I've also had way better breakfast items from Dunkin. Which, again, if you're interested in, go watch my my playlist of Dunkin stuff. Yeah, man, those are... Yeah... They're pretty subpar. Like, in my head, like, they're going to be this, delicious little sort of semi-hot pocket breakfast thing. Basically like a breakfast hot pocket bite. I would be all down for that. But you don't get a lot of filling. You get very little protein. And then at the end of it, it's like, all right, you're mostly just left with a biscuit. It tastes a little eggy. Excuse me. The taste wasn't terrible. It was okay for what it was, but it was just very unsatisfying. That's the best way I can put it. It's a very unsatisfying thing, especially based off what my expectation for it was. And I don't think that expectation was honestly that unrealistic. Like, it's a little thing. How much the fuck did I pay for that? All right, I paid $2.99. All right, here's my counterpoint to that. Because I didn't pay that much. I mean, I got 2 of them for $2.99. Here's my counterpoint. Charge me $3.50 and make it better. I'll pay you $3.50 for it. 100%, but then they need to be better. Because I would rather go over there and drop a little extra cash for a little bit extra item, for a little bit better extra item. It doesn't have to be, I'm not going to drop like fucking $5 on it or anything. But, if you can go over there and kind of meet me in the middle on the price versus the quality, I'm down for it. I get that it's a little bit, with that price point, it's kind of a budgety kind of item. But then at the same time, like, there's breakfast items on other menus that I can get for around the same price that are just going to be way better. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's, like I said, it didn't taste bad or anything, but 2 questions have to be asked, folks. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No and no. There's no reason. It's mostly filler that's just kind of okay. Like, it's not horrible, but... And as for trying to recommend it, no. I can't even be one of those things like, well, maybe if you're this type of person. No. This one for me is definitely a miss. It's not the worst miss I've had, but it's not great. So, sorry, Dunkin. I love you. But this one was a miss. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Stupendous rest of your folks. You can go over there and have yourselves a truly biscuits and gravy rest of your life. Because since we're talking biscuits anyway, we might as well go over there and, talk about biscuits, and pretty much it's great. It's format. It's biscuits and gravy. That's a side item that's so good, it's perfectly okay for it to be a main item. Okay? You don't get biscuits and, you might, but you don't typically get biscuits and gravy as a side thing. That's the whole presentation, and that's the life I want you to have. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But we can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. Try not to be an asshole. Not the easiest thing to do in the world, folks, especially when we're over. One thing that I don't really talk about, I have a I have an online presence. Obviously, I do my YouTube show. I have a, a limited audience, but an appreciated audience. It's like growing. We're getting there. Almost at 300 subs. I'm excited. I got the Facebooks and such. I do the things. And man, that shit can be really great, or it can be absolutely terrible, depending on which way the wind wants to blow on a given day. Today, it's a little bit weird for me. I got some stuff I got to sort out when I get done with this video. But even when I go to sort those things out, and when we have to sort out other stressful things, whether they be online or otherwise, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholeness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. You're going to get yourself some stuffed biscuit bites from Dunkin, as I have done here today. I don't know why you would if you've already watched my video. You should heed my warning. But you do you. And maybe like me, you're going to be a little bit underwhelmed. But then you remember, wait a second, biscuits and gravy exist. So then you go over there and you go out and you find yourself a proper little sit-down breakfast place, maybe a pancake shop. Shop with the P, the two P's, and the E, because that's when you know they mean business. They're paying for extra letters they don't need. You go over there, you get yourself some biscuits and gravy. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to set up your whole day. You're going to nail that presentation. And, when the boss goes over there and he tries to take credit, you're going to punch him in the head. And they're going to go over there, the executives, they're going to see that, and they're going to be like, that's gumption. And something, you become the CEO of Viacom. Is Viacom still a company? I don't know. It's just a company name that I pulled out of my butt. Or, conversely, you could not go over there and assault somebody. I'm just saying. Maybe instead, hey, go watch the movie Galaxy Quest, because Galaxy Quest is a great fucking movie. Why Galaxy Quest? It was just in my head. Bye!